Good morning, everybody. It's April 19th, day 21. I'm at Sokoa Gap. Forgot for a minute what this was called. So anyway, camped back down the road, or back down the lane that way last night, and boy, it poured and stormed and rained and rained and rained. Anyway, here's a guy fashionably late. Where are you from?
I'm from Vermont. I was born in Pennsylvania, raised in Vermont, and I came here from Florida.
Wow, you've traveled all over.
I'm a bit of a gypsy.
All right. Brent, where are you from?
I'm from Vietnam.
Vietnam.
No, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
All right.
My mom's from there.
All right, I'll catch up with you on the trail.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, good morning again. I didn't want to say a whole lot with those guys back there, Brent and Fashionably Late, but I'm climbing up the AT, making positive miles this morning. So, boy, last night was a little bit rough. It rained so much. I was on that like Forest Service road, so there's tire ruts a little bit. Well, the tire rut's filled with water. And so underneath the floor of my tent was like a squishy, it's like a water bed. And I got a little bit of water inside the tent. Not bad. But I had to be careful. I got my sleeve of my long underwear wet at one point. But it dried right out during the night. So, so that was good. Because I don't want to pack away wet clothes with other dry clothes, or it'll make them all wet. So thankfully, they all dry. Everything was dry this morning. Being enveloped in a cloud, everything's wet in the tent. You know, like the roof of the tent and stuff is all wet. So I had to constantly dry it with like a chamois, and then wring it out and dry it some more. And so, cooked my breakfast. I had a Mountain House skillet breakfast. So thank you, Halo, for that. Anyway, I had a Mountain House. And which meant I cooked, and so I think that helped dry stuff out a little bit too, just a little bit. But packed away a basically wet tent, and got my gear ready and took off. I slept in this morning because I was so tired last night. Hardly any sleep at the NOC, and a 13.5-mile day with an 8-mile climb. And then lots of climbing after that. Like, wow, lots of climbing. I was so tired. So I slept in this morning. It is now 9:30. So that felt kind of good. I think I got a little more sleep last night, even though it rained and rained and rained, which is loud on the Cuban fiber tent. Feet feel pretty good this morning. Everything feels pretty good today. So blister on my heel is not bad. It's about the same basically, and I didn't even unwrap my two toes, or the little toe over here. I didn't even unwrap it. It was dry and still looked like I had just wrapped it, so I just left it all night, left it this morning, and so we'll see what it looks like when I get to camp tonight. The plan is to do about 10 miles. If I do 10, I get to Cable Gap Shelter where there's water, so and that puts me 6 miles out from Fontana Dam tomorrow morning. So that'll be a nice short day. There's not really a good place to go after Cable Gap, so that's why I would stop. Otherwise I'd go maybe a mile or two further and be even closer to Fontana for tomorrow morning. So I've got a room at, I think it's Paradise on the AT hostel tomorrow night, so I'll get a shower, some laundry. Halo has sent me a resupply box there, and I will resupply and get ready to attack the Smokies. Assault on the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. 72 miles of walking through the Smoky Mountains, basically with no resupply. So it's going to be by far the longest section without resupply. So I'll have to leave Fontana Dam with 6+ days of food, which will be very heavy. And coming out of Fontana is another 8-mile climb and these will be the highest elevations of the whole trail in the Smoky Mountains. Clingman's Dome, I think, is 6,600 feet, so that'll be really, really neat. I hope we get some good weather and some good views up there. I'd love for it to cool off 10 or 15, 20 degrees. That'd be nice. So forecast for today is about the same as it's been. Stronger chance of rain, like 70% or 60% chance of rain. High in the mid to upper 60s. I think tomorrow and the next day it's going to be in the mid to upper 70s, which carrying a pack up the mountains is very hot. So looking forward to getting in the Smokies and hoping that it's cooler. All right, foggy, foggy, foggy this morning. Today I'm gonna climb Jacob's Ladder. It's a super steep section here that's kind of famous coming out of Stokoa Gap. So getting ready to hit Jacob's Ladder. I'm sure I'll film some of that for you. Thanks a lot. I know I say it a bunch, but I really mean it. Thanks so much for coming along with me. Thank you for watching these videos and for commenting. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and sharing the good news, telling people about what's going on here on the AT. So thanks a bunch, and we'll check in soon. Climbing Jacob's Ladder. Basically, it's I would say it's the steepest section of like dirt trail that we've had so far, is why it's got its name. And it just kind of goes and goes and goes. I have no idea if I'm halfway, or I haven't gotten as detailed as checking the elevation and doing all that stuff, which I can do, and I can tell exactly where I'm at. But my strategy for Jacob's Ladder is to stop a lot. Wow, look at this. Like I said, it's just the steepest section of dirt that we've had. Whew. All right. Like I said, strategy is to stop more often, and that way catch my breath, let my muscles relax. Doing this at the end of the day yesterday would have been impossible. It's hard at the beginning of the day. Very difficult at the end. There's a white blaze. Running those babies down, blowing them up. By the way, yesterday down at my camp, I was at 150 miles on the AT. So there's an old blaze. Yep, Jacob's Ladder. It zigzags every once in a while, and there's lots of some stairs too. It's kind of why I think it's got its name. It just goes so steep up to heaven. Well, I think I conquered Jacob's Ladder. I have a hard time calling it that unless my amazing wife Teresa were here and she were going up and down it. Then I could see how it would be called Jacob's Ladder. Miss you, baby. Welcome back, friends, family, and fans. How are y'all? There's another section to the episode of Disciples Through Hike of the Appalachian Trail. So I think you can probably tell by my spirit that I am feeling pretty good. I stopped at that Brown Gap shelter and had some Pop-Tarts and a meat and cheese combination pack. Drank a little bit of the Mio energy drink stuff, that squirt stuff, black cherry in my bottle. Got some water downed a little better than a liter of water there, and filled my bottles up to the appropriate level to get me to Cable Gap shelter or whatever. The trail has been very nice after Jacob's Ladder. The trail has been kind of rolling up and down, and mostly dirt. It's real nice. Like right now, boy, it's just almost like a sidewalk. It's smooth with scattered rocks and tree roots. By the way, man, you got to watch the tree roots rocks aren't bad. Even moss-covered muddy rocks aren't that bad, but the tree roots will get you. So watch out for those. This is kind of cool. Spin the camera around. Kind of a neat little spot. So, but the trail has been rolling up and down and smooth, and so there's been some sections that were really rocky, and then a few like ledges going up and down, and a couple, really rocky spots where I had to be very careful. But I've been experimenting with my stride on descents especially. So taking a longer stride and squatting down, and then kind of letting my foot land where it will, and grabbing on, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I've been experimenting, and it seems like it's like my descents are going better. I mean, I'm still very slow, I think, on the descents, but see, like right now I'm just squatted down and letting I don't know if you can tell, wow, it doesn't hurt, and it's very smooth. So that's pretty cool. I think I'm learning to go down better, and it seems like when I go uphill, I do real well. And today I took a lot more breaks going uphill, and so maybe that's why I feel a little bit better. Because boy, today, by the way, I haven't felt the best. Like about an hour in this morning, and my stomach was kind of upset. I'll cover your ears if you don't want to be grossed out. I had a little bit of diarrhea and thought I was maybe going to get sick, but I didn't, thankfully. And I stopped and ate and drank, and I mean, knock on wood, thank you Jesus, I'm feeling pretty good right now. So that's nice. But took breaks, and boy, I felt slow and sluggish this morning, but feeling really good now. So I am cruising along, and I'm really thinking, depends on how I feel when I get to that cable gap shelter. I'd love to do a couple more miles and get a little closer to Fontana Village or Fontana Dam or whatever. I'd love to get closer so I'd have a shorter day tomorrow, and I can spend more time resting and organizing my gear, drying stuff out to get ready to assault the Smokies. So that's what's going through my mind as I walk along. So thank you very much for your guys' prayers. I know you're watching this days behind where I'm actually at, so just proactively pray in advance for what you're watching, because it's usually 3 or 4 days, I think at least, behind. All right, I'm going to save some battery. And by the way, in the Smokies, I'm not going to be able to film as much because I don't know how much battery I'm going to have. We forgot to get the big battery pack to me, which, to be honest, I'm okay with because that thing's heavy. So so we'll see. But that's my plan and thoughts for now. Look, it's kind of the sun. First time in 2 days seeing the sun in Pretty Valley. You can actually see across there. Woohoo! It's the first view in a long time. It's not even much of a view or very crisp, but at least you can see across there. Wow, the sun is shining. It's very pleasant, and the birds are chirping. Trail's still going pretty well. Not sure where I'm at exactly, but I'll make a decision when I get further along. Might be able to cruise a little further than I thought. Enjoying the sunshine though, and there's a kind of a cool breeze. So I'll show the trail now for this little segment. I stopped at that brown something gap shelter. It's just back a quarter mile or so. Stopped there and aired out a little bit. Tried to dry stuff off. The sun was shining, but then a little rainstorm came through, and so I had to pick all my stuff up. Anyway, sat there for probably 30 or 40 minutes and rested and ate. I rehydrated. I drank a Gatorade packet in my water, drank that down. Had a Slim Jim meat and cheese stick combo and some, let's see, what else? Oh, cheese and crackers. That's what I had. So yeah, feel pretty good. Anytime you're in a low spot though, you have to climb out of there. And so, apart from Jacob's ladder this morning, this is probably the most difficult climb of the day. I say that as I start to go downhill. That's the way it works. You go down and up and keep going up. So my plan is to go at least 2 miles to a stream where there's some good water. And oh, it would be neat if there's a campsite there or by it. If not, I can keep going. I think there's one more stream. And if not, then it's clear down to Fontana, which from the shelter back there is 6.7, which would make this basically a 16-mile day, which is doable other than time. Time's getting a little later, and if things don't go well, I'd be getting in not far from dark. Well, I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. And I've never been there, so I have no idea what the camping is like, what the shelter's like, or how many people will be there. I'm way ahead of my group, whatever group this is. They're all either staying back there at that brown gap or they're even further back. So yeah, feeling pretty good. So wish there was just a little more time in the day. I'm sure I could do Fontana Dam or the Fontana Shelter. So the sun was shining, then it rained. Sun's coming out, then it rained. It's raining right now. And the sun's trying to come out. So needless to say, it's humid. But at least it's not pouring rain. Stop boring you for now. So here is my camp for the night. I am at a no-named stream with a little wooden footbridge. It's basically just a spring that starts right there, and there's a tiny bit of a trickle. But this is the Appalachian Trail going across there, and here's my camp. There are my clothes. Drying, everything is wet, sopping wet, both rain and sweat. Mostly sweat today. Got my tent, set up just kind of like normal, and I'm getting ready for supper. Did a little over 12 miles today. It's 3.6 to get into Fontana, the shelter there. And I thought, you know what, it doesn't do me any good to get in there any earlier. I don't have a room until tomorrow, afternoon. So I'm just going to take my time and get up in the morning and go on down in there and probably grab some breakfast, a late breakfast or something, and call my shuttle, and hopefully I can get into the hostel. So that's my plans for the morning. It's a good day today. Not that difficult after Jacob's ladder. Not too difficult. Boy, coming out of that last shelter though, man, there was a lot of climb. Oh my goodness, it was a lot. But I think I probably could have gone on in, but my feet wouldn't have liked me. And I like my feet, and I want them to like me. So I decided to take care of them and just stop here. And so it looks like my first long day, Lord willing, will be in the Smoky Mountains. Tomorrow, short day, and then spend the night at the hostel. The next day, leave Fontana Dam and head into the Smokies with a heavy pack. That's the plan. All right, I might check in later, I might not. We'll see. Thanks again so much for watching and coming along with me. So I forgot to tell you, I'm so excited about tonight's meal. I hope it's nearly as good as what I think it's going to be. But I have gotten some Oriental flavored ramen noodles. Yum yum. And to go with it, for protein, I have some, let me read it, Thai chili style tuna fish. Get it? Thai Oriental noodles. I'm having an Asian dish tonight that's hopefully got a little tang to it. So I think it's going to start raining. Anyway, that is what I am looking forward to. So ramen, Asian style ramen and whatever, along with another bar for dessert. Yum yum. Boiling up my water. Hopefully you can see it. I can't tell. Yep, looks like. Anyway, cooking my water and listening to it thunder in the background. I hope it stays away for a while because I would like my clothes to dry before the jaunt in the morning. So cravings. People are talking, about lots of cravings, and I'm not having much, but I am looking forward to getting some ice cream. And one of these days, looking forward to hitting the Chinese buffet. All you can eat, of course, and then also a huge stack of pancakes with like real syrup and stuff. At home, I don't really eat that because it's too many calories. But here, I can do it if I want because I'm burning like thousands of calories a day. So I'm looking forward to some pancakes and some Chinese. Definitely, I'm going to hook up with some ice cream here like tomorrow. And we'll see what else. But that's it. I'm having a great time. Body's definitely felt pretty good today. Blisters are hurting, but not excruciating. I'm going to unwrap the one on my left foot and see how it's looking today. Take care of it more tomorrow if I need to. I think that's it. So, good night, everybody. Ciao for now.